Good morning.
Good morning, Jennifer.
How are you, Maresa?
I'm good. I'm Maresa Morrow with Parks Realty out of the Murfreesboro office, and this is Jennifer Hart
With Churchill Mortgage.
coming at you from Beyond the Contracts, our podcast.
Here in our home office at Churchill Mortgage, actually in Brentwood, Tennessee.
What are you sipping on today, Jennifer?
Just love coffee. And I'll share what I got.
Okay.
You can share what you got. I got it's iced, but it is the mocha iced with oat milk.
How is that?
Delicious.
Delicious. Mine is a caramel latte iced. Heaven sent. Absolutely heaven sent.
Yeah, this is my go-to. And as far as Just Love, if you've never been, I know that they have several locations, several in Murfreesboro alone,
Rutherford
and in
County.
Smyrna, I should say. And I go there often. They have a story, and oftentimes you can find that posted on the wall. But it's very much a hot spot of where business people, a lot of times, and even families go to meet.
They do. And they have a great menu, not just coffee, but food.
Yeah.
It's cafe-like.
Yeah.
It's very cafe-like. I know I went and bought, right after the Smyrna location opened,
Yeah.
I bought gift cards and sent them to clients, and they went over great.
It's a great idea. Great idea. Let's talk about the market a little bit.
Yes, let's give a quick update. I just wanted to talk about really quickly, for once you get under contract, of course there's a big process for you even get to that part, but it's very important for you and your agent to make sure that you stay on task with the contract. A lot of seasoned agents like to just kind of be like, well, we got it under contract, we're going to sail through. There's a lot of steps in between getting under contract and getting to that closing table. And mainly for all of the parties to understand that this is a binding legal agreement. And the things that we've agreed to in that need to be upheld as we go. And whether that is financing, whether that is repairs, to make sure that everybody has an itemized list and they stay on task to make sure, because I've had a couple where we get right to the closing date and, we didn't double check, we didn't make sure that all of the repairs are done or any of the other contingencies.
Yeah, and in regards to that, this is why you want to really use a licensed, experienced real estate agent. A lot of people think I'll save myself some money, not have to pay commissions, and then they get into a mess. Or they rely heavily on a mortgage lender, which we're not licensed in real estate.
Right.
So
yeah, you can get into a lot of hot water.
Because it is a legal document.
Exactly. And there's a reason that it is a legal document, because if these things that the parties agree to are not upheld, you can go into litigation. Varying degrees of that. They try to not get you to that, but a licensed real estate agent carries insurance that covers you. These for sale by owners, a lot of these, they're not going to help you out.
Have you ever had that? You've never had that?
I've never had that. I have gotten close to where there were some times where it was like we're all one step away, and we were able to stay away from that. But it's very nerve-wracking for everyone. But yeah, that's important.
So in regards to mortgage rates, really not a whole lot of news. Specifically in regards to mortgage rates. But one thing I do want to mention, I've had this come up, it seems almost daily, but when I talk to borrowers, when they reach out, we have conversations and they ask questions in regards to different types of programs based on what they've heard through media, which a lot of that is incorrect. And they don't know, or a family member, maybe a parent or a relative, they've heard some things. And so we were having this conversation earlier about why it's important to actually work with a licensed mortgage professional to get your information from, because a lot can change and it changes all the time.
Yes.
So,
and we get a lot of the difference we had brought up before, the difference between closing costs and down payments and prime rates versus mortgage rates. There's a lot of differences.
A lot of information
with that,
out there, and a lot of incorrect information.
A lot of incorrect information. People think they can get in there. First-time homeowners, oh, you've got a program. My mom said blah, blah, blah. Well, when's the last time she purchased, and was it her first-time homeowner? So there's a lot to go over. So make sure you get with somebody that you love and trust. Want to work with.
One other thing too. We have recorded. This is our podcast episode number 2, so we've got one under our belt, and we want to just briefly mention we had brought up a groundbreaking that has already occurred. So by the time you hear that podcast, it will have already happened. It was a great day. It went very smoothly. It was a very hot day. So we did want to do an update on that, and I think you also wanted to give a shout out. Am I wrong?
I wanted to give a shout out to my husband. I forgot to say I've been married for 32 years, and I'm married and with 2 kids.
We love Rodney.
We love Rodney. So, but anyway, I left that off. So I am married.
Yes. And so let's talk about today. What have we got going on?
So we are so excited. We want to talk about some upcoming events, and our first guest is Judy King. She is the incoming Rotary president of Smyrna, and we've got her on the line, and she's going to talk about the Wings of Freedom annual fish fry, which is a huge fundraiser.
Huge.
And we're going to get the details from her and get excited about it.
Yes, love Judy.
Judy, we're so thrilled that you're here to join us and to talk about the Wings of Freedom fish fry. We wanted you to give a little bit of backstory on how that all came about. When was the first one? How long it's been going on?
Sure. Thank y'all for having me. So back 21 years ago, they started doing the fish fry. And so this year, being the 21st annual one, each year we try to top the year before, especially with the funds that we raise. But it started around the basically with the air show, and ended up that Smyrna Rotary took it over and it became the Wings of Freedom fish fry. So we have raised just under $2 million in years. And last year, the last 2 years, we topped just over 200,000 for the fish fry. I believe it was just over $202,000 last year that was raised. This year, our goal is 225,000. That President Eric Brown has set that goal, and we make primarily that money through sponsorships, not necessarily ticket sales, but through sponsorships, and it is an absolute great event.
So you talked about the funds. Where do the funds go to? Who does this benefit?
Yeah.
So we end up doing, like last year, I'll just give last year an example because we didn't have any large participation in like a build like we've done Boys and Girls Club. We helped them, and that was a multi-year commitment. We've done the all-inclusive playground, and that was a multi-year commitment that we made. But we also, even with those multi-year commitments, we've also committed to our community that we're giving back to them as well, community nonprofits. Last year, being the first year we did not have a commitment such as in the past, we had just under $150,000 that we awarded to grant recipients. And those grant recipients, there were just under 25 local nonprofits that submit an application. They can do that from May 1st to August 1st. and they can, give us information about their nonprofit, what the need for the funds are. And then we have a cool little way of scoring that need. And then the leadership sits down and allocates the request. It can be 100% of the request, but typically it's just a percentage of that request. And last year we funded about 98% of those grant requests that we received.
Wow, that's quite a feat. Is there what's the website that they can go to and apply?
So it's wofsmyrna.com, and with the scholarship program, it's already closed for this year, so it'll start in next year. For this year's fish fry, we're actually looking for veterans to be our honorees. We're trying to get the word out every way that we can. These are veterans that served during the time after 9/11. So that operation was called Operation Enduring Freedom. And so we are looking for those veterans to come out and let us love on them for, a night of celebration and giving back to them and to our community.
Yeah, that's great.
Give us the details, the day. Tell us, anything different from last year. Tell us about the food. The food is really what it centers around. And, well, I say that, but it is a fish fry. People get so excited about the food. But tell us about this year's event.
So we have obviously catfish. That catfish is brought up, it's cut up and battered there by our cooks the night of, and cooked right there on the trailers. So we've got catfish fillet, we've got chicken fingers, French fries, coleslaw, white beans, and dessert. And
Delicious.
this is pretty much all you can eat or all handle. But we typically serve around 2,000 people in under 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's amazing.
That was going to be my next question: was how many guests do you anticipate, or your average is about 2,000?
Yeah, between 2,000, 2,200. Last year it rained the day of the event, so the turnout was a little slimmer than it has been in the past. But we anticipate this year anywhere, around that 2,200 mark.
I don't think people realize when you say fish fry how large this is. I mean, this is a major event, and there's also a car show that has kind of evolved from it. And you have special guests as well, right?
We do. So this year's event is Saturday, September 9th. It is at the Smyrna Airport. It starts at 5. If you want to be in the antique or the classic car show, there's information on the website about that and getting registered for that. Also, along with that, we have a silent auction that will be online as well and in person. So folks can bid during the event on items, and we've got some really good silent auction items there. And this year is each year we try to change it up because we don't want people just expecting the same thing.
Right.
We want to add to that because, obviously as this event has grown from a $10,000 event to a couple of $100,000, the expectations are higher, especially for our sponsors. I mean, we've got several $10,000 sponsors this year.
Wow.
Titanium sponsorship, and we could not do this, absolutely could not do this without our sponsors.
Yes.
So do you all is there entertainment? What can they expect when they get there?
So historically we've had a band in the past, and this year we are actually going to have a DJ. We're
That'll be fun. Yeah.
things around, and the DJ can play all genres of music. So you've got people there that like bluegrass, country, rock, hip hop. Who knows what he's going to play, but we're really excited about that too.
That sounds like a really good time is going to be had, and a lot of good food.
And it's family friendly, so kids are welcome. The kids love it. They love the cars. And I know I don't know if it's going to be that case this year, but you could actually get on some of the different aircraft, or a lot of times they had those open so you could actually see inside.
They did that last year. I haven't heard what is in store this year. Azure allows us to use their hangar each year. We could not do this without help of the communities and businesses. And so Azure has been our home for the fish fry for years.
Yeah. And so tell us again, where can people get tickets? When do tickets go on sale?
So tickets are on sale now, and they can purchase those at wofsmyrna.com. Adults are $50 and children are $25. And I apologize, I cannot remember the ages of that. I believe it's 6 and under, or
it's on the website, probably.
Website, yes, ma'am.
On the website. Share with us, Judy, what I know you've been involved with Rotary for many years and have participated in the fish fry. Tell us what one of your favorite memories, or something that you've really, really enjoyed in years past.
Yeah, stands out.
So 2020, as y'all know, we couldn't have an in-person fish fry. Nonetheless, we had a fish fry, and we did that as a drive-through, and it was absolutely amazing. It was rain, and that was the second year, the first year I was asked to take care of the honorees, and that year we had Korean. World War II veterans, and we didn't have that many. And honestly, that night, I think we had 6 honorees for the event, and 4, their families drove them through, because these gentlemen were much older, up in years, and that was probably the best experience of being out there, putting flags on their cars so that they could be recognized as they went different stations, and just getting to talk to them, and becoming Facebook friends with several of them. And that probably shows the resiliency of the Smyrna Rotary and of this fish fry, because when we came back in 21, it was the anniversary of 9/11, and that there's so many memories, and I get emotional because it's not just about a fish fry, but it's about touching the lives of these first responders or the veterans. Last year it was educators, and then seeing the impact that these funds do for our community, for the Nourishment Bank, for the Meals on Wheels, for Boys and Girls Club, for all of these different entities, just to be able to see that and to be the hands and feet to be able to do that.
Well, and that's it right there. That is the perfect example of a servant's heart. Why the fish fry and Rotary in itself exists. Why we failed to mention that Judy was a fellow diplomat, and she has the heart for serving as well as we do, and that right there sums it up. And I think that's a great note to end on, Judy. We appreciate you so much talking to us about it. And again, it's wofsmyrna.org.
.com.
.com for all the information for the Wings of Freedom fish fry. It's so much more than a fish fry, and it helps so many people. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars back into our community to help where these charities and organizations need it, and to get to know our fellow veterans and in our community.
Give back to our community.
Yep.
Yeah. And get to know our neighbors. For sure. So we appreciate you, Judy,
Yes,
so much for
you.
all that you do for our community, and we're just so grateful to have you.
Yes,
so
thank you
for
so
your
much.
time.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much.